What if I told you that 90% of people will never achieve their dreams? Not because they aren't smart enough, but simply because they can't be bothered. Think about that. You are probably surrounded by people who readily blame the government, blame their company, and complain about their pay scale. But right now, you have a choice. You can either stay hypnotized and paralyzed by that environment, or you can walk away from the 97% of people who refuse to take control of their lives. Today, we are going to unlock the brutal, unfiltered truth about what it actually takes to win. We're talking about rewiring your brain for relentless success. Why your bad breaks are actually a cheat code, and the absolute, undeniable power of taking extreme responsibility. If you want to change your life, hit that subscribe button, because we are diving deep. Everything you want to achieve starts from the neck up. We spend so much time focusing on our physical limits. But here is the secret. The body has limitations, but the mind does not. If you aren't mentally prepared, you will never be physically prepared. To get that competitive edge, you have to become a visionary. Because visionaries are the ones who change the world. And it starts with a ridiculously simple habit. Write down what you really want. Writing causes thinking, and thinking creates an image in your mind. Let me tell you a crazy story about how powerful this is. Imagine being 300 pounds and needing to drop down to 191 pounds just to get through the door for Navy SEAL Bud/S training. How do you survive 18 months of pure, agonizing pain for just a few seconds of joy at the finish line? You have to put yourself at that finish line 1,000,000 times in your head before you ever take the first step. You visualize walking across that stage, getting that graduation certificate, and you lock onto how amazing that is going to feel. Visualization is the ultimate tool. When you've conquered the challenge 1,000,000 times in your mind, the actual event is no surprise. But let's get real. The road to success is never a clear path. It is always under construction. You are going to face bad breaks, but listen closely. Those bad breaks usually come right before the massive breakthrough is about to happen. If you give up after your first try, your 5th try, or even your 30th try, you are proving one simple thing. You just didn't want it bad enough. You have to fall in love with the process and embrace what comes hard. To understand how to hit the game-winning shot, you literally have to miss the game-winning shot. You have to fail in order to win. If life is throwing impossibilities at you, your attitude must be, I am not going to take no for an answer, and I refuse to settle for mediocrity. The only way to overcome the absolute worst challenges you face is to get up every single day and just start walking. Let me ask you a question. If the blueprint to wealth was handed to you for $8, would you take it? A famous speaker once recommended a little book called The Richest Man in Babylon to over 3 million people. It's incredibly easy to find. It costs maybe $6 to $8, and it's super easy to read. Guess how many actually went out and bought it? Only about 10%. And did you know that only 3% of people even have a library card? The mystery is why people refuse to do what is easy. People will specialize in happy hour, lack a library card, and still wonder why they aren't succeeding. My advice to you today: do not talk like them, do not act like them, and throw away the blame lists they cling to. You don't have to be perfect at everything. If you suck at social media, but the world is moving to platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, don't quit. Find a partner who has a strength where you have a weakness. Manage your strengths, develop your skills, and let absolutely no one talk you out of your goals. Oscar Wilde once said, "Responsibility is what we expect from somebody else." We get furious when our flight is delayed or the dentist keeps us waiting, but we completely ignore when we forget to mail the mortgage payment or return a phone call. Avoiding responsibility is directly tied to why most people aren't as successful as they wish they were. If you want to win, you have to take full responsibility, even for the mess-ups of others, when you are leading them. Let me leave you with a legendary story about taking the weight on your shoulders. Bill Russell was one of the greatest centers for the Boston Celtics, known for his elite defense. But he was a terrible free throw shooter. His shooting form was ridiculous. He'd hold the ball waist high and let it go like he was throwing a bucket of dirt over a wall. It's Game 7, the final game of the championship series between Boston and the Lakers. 12 seconds left. The Lakers are down by 1 point. They need the ball back, so they intentionally foul Bill Russell. Statistically, it was the smartest move in the world. He was the worst free throw shooter on the court. But statistics mean absolutely nothing in the face of a man who eagerly accepts responsibility. Bill Russell didn't want anyone else to have that ball. He wanted the weight of the entire game on his own shoulders, with zero room for excuses or blaming anyone else. And, like magic, because he eagerly embraced that immense pressure and responsibility, he knew he was going to make the shot. And he did. That is what happens when you take ownership of your destiny. You cannot be moved by how impossible things look, and you cannot be discouraged by how long it takes. You have to have a made-up mind. So, what do you really want? Write it down. Build that vision. Take that step every single day, no matter what you are facing. Stop blaming others. Take the ball into your own hands and go make it happen. If this video fired you up, drop a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more content that pushes you to your absolute limits. I'll see you in the next one. Stay relentless.